Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's Dealer eProcess webinar, Proven Social Media Strategies that are going to rock your new year. My name is Eliana Raggio. It's my pleasure to be your moderator today. And today's webinar is being presented by Dealer eProcess. And we are proud to introduce Everest, a new all-in-one AI-powered platform that combines DEP's high-converting websites, which you'll see on the next slide, Robin, digital marketing, digital retailing, hyper-personalization, and so much more into one single unified platform where all your digital tools work together. It elevates the car buying experience, it boosts sales without shoppers ever having to log in, create an account, or already exist in your DMS. It is a game changer, people. It's also the first platform in the automotive industry genuinely tailored for dealer groups. If you want to know more, and you got to learn more about this because it is groundbreaking stuff, all right, please head on over to dealereprocess.com and let me know how we can help. All right, so excited because my homegirl, Robin Wilson, is our presenter today. Robin Wilson is the co-founder of SCP Agency and Epic BDC, where she partners with dealerships that get it. She helps them shine on social media and converts their unique culture into revenue. Passionate about creating fun, impactful marketing, she has served on the board of Women in Automotive and spoken at industry events like Digital Dealer and Women in Automotive and more. She has also launched By Appointment Only, a BDC immersion event, and led a lease retention summit for Southern California Honda dealers. Her boundless ideas continually push for transformative change in the automotive industry. Robin is also a rescue dog enthusiast with a big, loving family, and she can be reached at robin@socialclimberpro.com. And guess what? Our good friends at SCP Agency, they're giving away a sweet, sweet prize today. One lucky webinar attendee is going to win a Stanley stainless steel cup full of swag. She's got an American AF shirt, epic stickers, coasters, and so much more. This prize is valued at over $100. You cannot exchange it for cash or transfer it, but you have to be on the live broadcast to win it. So stay tuned, everyone. Could be you walking away with this cool prize today. Now, during the presentation, if you have any questions, please use that question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer those questions of general interest. If we're unable to get to your question live, don't worry, we're going to try and respond to email later today. Don't worry, a link to download a copy of today's webinar recording is also going to be emailed to you later today for your reference. Please feel free to share it with friends and colleagues. All right, everyone, let's get started. Let's learn all about proven social media strategies that are going to rock your new year. Robin Wilson.
Oh, I love it. I was so nervous. I was so nervous to push the buttons on time. I'm like, hang on, what's my cue again?
Listen, I want everyone to understand, Robin and I have known each other just a couple years. Full disclosure, she and I have served together, of course, at Women in Automotive. We also worked together on the By Appointment Only conference, and I am a fan. All right. And I'm a fan. I do want to also point out that we've been doing these webinars a year and a half now here at Dealer eProcess, and this is Robin Wilson's very first appearance. It took a while to get here. First one, will not be her last one, I'm sure, but it is also the first time in DEP webinar history that we've done this topic. We've never done a topic on social media. And I am a social media fan, as everyone knows. So I'm really excited about this topic, and I know you are too. Social media is that like dark horse that can actually make a difference to every single dealership out there if done correctly. So this is one of those things, yes, you can pay money for it, but it can also be free. And there's so many different things you can do to use it to your advantage. I know we're going to talk about this and a whole lot more. So Robin, what's up, girl?
Let's do it. Let's do this. I'm so excited about this. This is my passion. This is my love language. So like, if anyone's like, gun to your head, what could you speak on for 30 minutes solid? I'm like, well, I don't know if I could shorten it to 30 minutes, but I'll do my best. Let's talk social media.
Well, I don't know that there's a bigger expert on this topic in automotive. If there is, I haven't met them. I mean, you are the expert. So I know we have a lot to get to.
Let's do it.
Let's start. What do you want to start off with?
So this is what we're going to cover today. So I tried to just bring it down to like 4 topics that we could cover today. And it's really the conversation around how do we use social media and be effective as a dealership, or even as a salesperson. And this is kind of the four things to me that if you're going to go, Robin, I can only do 4, and I'm like, these are the ones that you want to do right here. So are you good for us to go?
I'm good.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to talk about, I'm going to go back to that just for a second. We're going to talk about becoming a trusted advisor, building social media tribes, understanding the core emotions of car buyers, and then mastering Facebook's professional dashboard. Those things are they're really easy. And once you understand them, once we talk about them, you're going to go, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And then you'll start to see it in other marketing things that you'll see. You'll start to see this happening. You just didn't know it was happening before. So this is right here. Do we want to take this poll first?
I think that's a great idea. Audience, we only have one poll question today, and this is it. So I'm going to put it on your screen now. We would love it if everyone on here would get involved and answer this question, please. The question is, who currently manages the social media at your store or stores? Please select one of the following options. Is it, I have a dedicated in-house social media professional, somebody that you hired specifically just to take care of social media? Awesome. Do you outsource it to an agency? Let us know. Is it somebody like a receptionist or a BDM or some other person inside the store who does it alongside of their other responsibilities? Let us know that. Do you handle it yourself? Which makes perfect sense why you'd be on this webinar. Or social media, we're too busy selling cars. Whatever the answer is, we want to know. Let us know what's going on in your store once we get a majority of the vote. Holy moly, we already have a majority of the votes in. This is awesome.
That's easy.
Audience, you're amazing. Awesome. I would love some more votes, so we'll just keep this open for, let's say 10 more seconds. See if we get any more votes in. Can't wait to show you these. Oh, we did get more votes in. Can't wait to show you these results, Robin, so that you can let us know. I don't know. I'm just curious if there's a wrong answer. Maybe the last one's the wrong answer, but curious to know if this is, I mean, you talk to a lot of dealers, as do I. So I'm really happy to see these numbers and curious to know if there's a right way and a wrong way. I'm sure, as much as I love social media, I am positive I'm not doing it 100% correctly. So let's close this poll and share the results and see what we got going on, okay? Thank you everyone for your votes. All right, here we go. Okay, 28% of today's audience say, hey, we have a dedicated in-house social media, right? I got some smart people on this webinar. Okay, 28% also say they outsource it to an agency. 3% say they give it as an extra job to somebody else in the dealership, like a receptionist or a BDM. 3% also say, hey, we're too busy selling cars for social media. Don't know why you're here today, but glad you are. But the majority of today's audience, 38%, that is a nice, healthy number, say they handle it themselves. Hot darn. Look at that. I kept myself from cursing. Okay. Is this your experience, though, Robin, that more and more people are trusting it to a professional instead of giving it to like a receptionist, for instance, which I think a lot of people were doing maybe, you know, let's say 5-10 years ago?
I think it really depends on the size of the dealership as well. You know, I think that some other position really is kind of what kind of ends up covering it. I was interviewing Taryn Garrett yesterday, which she is BDC. She's customer experience manager, and she also is their social media, right? Like, but they're a smaller store, right? So, you know, their goal is to sell 40 cars a month, and they're a pre-owned store. And so you can kind of see it in those scenarios where that would be like they would not have the budget for or they don't think they have the budget for outsourcing it or for having a dedicated salary that just does that. And a lot of that is just the value proposition. They don't know what the value of it is. My heart breaks for that 38% of you that are struggling to do it yourself. a small story. Like when I first started SCP Agency, Social Climber Pro, I started it because small business owners had pulled us out of the recession of the mortgage meltdown. And here were these people that were like, they may have a shoe boutique, right? But they all were in charge of ordering, they were in charge of payroll, they were in charge of paying the electric bill, of going to market, of figuring out their marketing stuff, of making sure the plumber got there to fix the toilet. The small business owners are in charge of everything. So to think about everything that you have to do at a dealership, and then on top of that, now you have to get out of your analytical brain and jump into your creative brain, and then be creative and go, what will work? What is the strategy behind this other than doing at it? And so 38% of you, like I know that that's got to be one of those things that's just heavy on you, because like, oh my God, I have to do this thing. I have to do this thing on top of getting pulled in 9 million directions.
I feel you. Hey, somehow your slide deck went away, just so you know.
Oh, you made it go away.
I know. Click a button.
Is it there?
Perfect. Yes, it's there. I know I loved seeing so many people that are doing it themselves. So I'm relying on all of you to send in some great questions, because we're going to get into the nitty gritty now. So I'm going to shut up, Robin, and let you go.
For sure. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is becoming the trusted advisor. And I know that when people are at the dealership, you're walking them through all of the things that they need to know about buying a car. But if you think about the consumer, the stress that they have about buying a car and the things that they don't know, we forget that they don't know. And I'm going to tell you that I was 50 years old, or in my 50s. Let me see if I went too far. Yeah. So I was over 50 years old whenever I discovered how often you were supposed to rotate your tires. Now, I probably should be embarrassed by that, but I'm not. I would literally just, I would get my oil changed. They'd go, okay, well, we think it's time to rotate your tires. And I'd be like, really? Like, why? Like, why do you think that? You know, I was just that turd of a customer. And it wasn't until someone explained it to me, the reason why, and that you want to get the most wear out of your tires, then it will help your fuel mileage be better, and that you should do it every this many miles. I didn't even know that there was like a number that went with that, and it's because nobody educated me about that. But car guys think that we all know that. We don't. And the service department, you know who those guys are. They are not the ones that are like so on top of their game, coming out and educating you why you need to have this stuff done. Their personality type is not that. So it really needs to fall on the salespeople. So if you think about your dealership at the dealership level or at the salespeople level, if they were posting on social media about what were some of those things that could get you to become the trusted advisor in the car buying process ahead of time. So think about this. Let's say that you actually made a post and you shared with me that every 7,500 miles I should be rotating my tires. Okay, and you and I don't know each other, but you've pulled into my newsfeed somehow, and you're local in my area, and I would be like, well, that's cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was supposed to do that every 7,500 miles. Hey, I would ask my husband, hey, when's the last time we rotated our tires? And he would be like, I don't know. I would tell you what that answer would be. He'll be like, I don't know. And I would go, well, it says that I'm supposed to rotate them every 7,500 miles, and I have 15,000 miles on my Jeep. Shouldn't they have already been rotated by now? And he would be like, yes, they have. Well, I didn't know it. I'd go, well, Phil told me that there was a social media post that he said that we should be doing that thing. So now there's been a transfer of trust that's happened because Phil has educated me. And if we remember anything about social media, it should be entertaining, educating, or enlightening. We are all dipping out of our frustrated lives and tuning in somewhere to get a little bump of dopamine, a little something when we go to social media. We're not really there going out to buy cars, but we're going to either get educated, entertained, or enlightened. Like we just really want to feel good about ourselves, or we want to learn something, or we want something to make us laugh and entertain us. So not just the tire rotation, but car tech jargon, tips on service maintenance and financing. These are all things that you should be getting into your rotation of social media posting if you want to set yourself apart as being the trusted advisor. Forget all of the stuff that you know about cars and think about your 17 or 18-year-old daughter. What are all the things she doesn't know about maintenance on her vehicle? this story that I'm getting ready to tell you, I have an outsourced BDC. And I had a girl that worked for me one time. She doesn't work here right now. She's moved on with her life. And she literally called me over. She said, "Hey, I have this lady on hold right now. And she's asking about gap insurance." And she goes, "Now, is that a policy that they buy? So like whenever they get pregnant and they're going to be off having the baby on maternity leave, and it'll cover their car payments for that time?" My mind was blown.
Where did she
Trying
get that idea?
I'm trying not to cuss myself, and I'm like, oh, if that were a thing, that would be fantastic. But no, that's not what it is. And so I say that not just to be funny, but to go, we assume people know stuff because we know it. And even if you post about it this month about gap insurance, the people that are following your page or your profile next month are a whole different group of people, and your reach is going to be different. And so don't be afraid to post it even monthly, educating your consumers on gap insurance. And in my opinion right now, and don't just wait till they come in. Educate them in advance so that all of this stuff isn't hitting them when they're in the dealership for those 4 hours. Educate them in advance, especially right now when we're on the other side of COVID and almost everybody is buried in their car. And so I think it's almost malpractice right now for you to sell a vehicle without gap insurance, because most of them are rolling negative equity into their new vehicle. And if they literally pull off of your lot and get whacked, they're going to be so screwed. And so I think it's your job to educate them and to tell them what's going on. So become that trusted advisor. Think of the things that they're going to experience when they get to the dealership, and how can you warm them up to you before they get there. And you can do that with social media. You can literally make post, make videos, do whatever you want to. Like, I didn't know that if you take good care of your car battery, it should last 3 to 5 years. I didn't know what that time span was. Like, I don't know how long about it. And I'm a grown up, or I'm an adult. I mean, I vote. I'm of that
Calm
age.
down. Calm down with the adjectives, all right?
Okay, I'm a big girl. And so don't just assume that people know this stuff. They don't. And car jargon. Oh my Lord. If you think about how much technology has changed in the last 5 years in your vehicle. And if somebody doesn't buy a car, but like once every 5 years, 5 or 6 years, think of all of the technology that has changed between then and now. I mean, my husband has cool stuff on his truck that I don't have. Like, he doesn't have to hit his dimmer switch ever. His little truck just changes it for him. If someone's driving towards him, it turns his brights off. And I was like, well, that's cool. And I have a pretty new Jeep, and mine doesn't do that. But the very first time that I ever drove a car with lane assist wasn't a car that I owned. I had rented a vehicle, and I'm in another city driving all along. And then all of a sudden I'm like trying to change lanes. Apparently I was trying to do it without blinking with my blinker, and it was not wanting to let me. And I'm like, what's wrong with this car? I'm about semi panicking because that steering wheel is giving me resistance, because I didn't have any education about lane assist. And that, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be renting a car that had lane assist. So these are just things, they're ideas that you can produce and put out on social media that will cover that education piece of it and put you in that trusted advisor position. So I hope that, Eliana, did that all make sense?
That all made sense to me. I mean, just sitting there thinking of, thought leadership kinds of things, trusted advisor things that they could post. I would say I'm a mom of a teenager who's about to start driving, so anything that would help a teenage driver, how to winterize your car, how to summarize your car. Hey, did you know we have these cool add-ons for our Toyota trucks or whatever, hey, how to change the clock in your car, because it took me a solid 20 minutes to figure it out on mine.
Seriously. And some things that are like right now that are appropriate right now, right? Like, we're in fall right now. It feels like winter, but it's fall for another couple of days. And so think about those things that happen every year, right? Every year the temperature drops, that TPS light comes on. It's like, oh my God, are my tires low? And everyone like gets caught off guard by it every year, right? So before that temperature drops, go get the pressure in your tires checked. Or, that snow is coming. Have you done a windshield wiper checkup yet? How are your wipers? go and get your battery tested, because nobody wants to be stuck at work and it's 5 o'clock and it's dark at 5 o'clock. It's like midnight out there. And now your car won't start because we know it takes more drag. We know that it takes more drag on the engine when it's cold to turn that car over. And if your battery was weak to begin with, heading into fall, there's a good chance they're going to get stranded somewhere, right? So these are all things that are really great to remind them right now. And they're good social media posts. They're good educational things that will go, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. And then I would go home and go, hey, Brian, remember you said Brian's my husband. In case y'all don't know, I will refer to him a lot. I would go, hey, Brian, this spring I was telling you needed to get your windshield wipers changed because it's smeary on my side of the truck. Did you do that? And because Phil made another post again and said, hey, and then it reminded me, I don't know if you did that yet. And he'd be like, no, I didn't. I'll just tell you exactly what he was saying. No, I didn't. And so
I had a friend of mine who actually does sell cars. He posted, and so of course I follow him because he's my friend. I mean, like, I actually go out to dinner with this guy. But he posted, and he did his post. He's like, you know what the definition of a bad day is? Somebody who gets a flat tire and then goes to try and put on his spare, and his spare is also flat. So check your spare tires, everyone. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's so smart.
For sure. And you know how many people don't know, like, and it's just because salespeople are salespeople, right? They get through a process. I mean, 4 hours at a dealership, they sit at their desk BSing for an hour and a half, 2 hours, when they could be talking about stuff that's important to the customer, like cars that come with a tire mobility kit instead of a full-size spare. If you knew how many times for the clients that we handle their social, that we are dealership social media managers, and we handle all the conversations that happen, that people are mad because they had a flat tire and then pulled over, and then there's like, what is this? I don't even have a spare in here. What is this about? And so it's really one of those things that I think can be covered, like, an advice to a customer, right? Always make sure and check, do you have a full-size spare, or do you have a tire mobility kit? And they don't even know why their vehicles came with that, and they don't know that that's all they have and how to use it. And the answer that I get from dealers when I go, you probably need to address this ahead of time, and they'll go, well, they have roadside assistance. Oh, okay.
Not the same.
I understand that, but literally, knowledge is power.
Just so I could say, Robin, I love this whole trusted advisor thing, because a car salesman or woman, person, shouldn't just be thought of as he's selling me a car. It should be a trusted advisor position who diagnoses exactly what it is you're looking for, what amount of money you can afford, and what you need your car to do, and then matches you up with that proper vehicle so that you leave a very happy customer. And it's not the last time you see him or her. It's
or talk to them.
The beginning of a long-term relationship. Exactly.
And the thing is that they don't know their service advisor. They don't know their service manager. They're really going to, when something happens with their vehicle, they should come to you first. They should be coming back to that salesperson and going, hey, I don't know how to make this thing work on my car. I don't know why this sensor came on my, and they should be that person, that go-to person, in my opinion. It doesn't always happen, and there's very few of the perfect salespeople out there that take this seriously, but we can give as much information on social as possible. The next thing that we're going to talk about are social media tribes. And this is one of my favorite subjects, because when we talk about strategic organic content, strategic meaning there's actually a plan behind it, right? Creating tribes within your social media following is super important. So if you're just posting for everybody, you're posting for nobody. So my favorite kind of tribe, I played with this one this week with a salesperson. I just like to prove a point. So Phil here locally in my town is like my guinea pig go-to guy that I'm constantly like, hey Phil, I need you to do XYZ. And so the first time that I tested Phil on something I needed done whenever we were building out our new app that we just launched, is I sent him a graphic, and it was a picture of a really muscular, beautiful man's arm tattooed, and it was beautiful. And I'd made the graphic for him, and it just said, show me your ink. And I said, Phil, I need you to build this. And he never asked me any question. He just does what I tell him. I said, I need you to post this, and here's the comment there's the text that's going to go in the box, but here's the call to action. It's going to be, I'm thinking about getting my first tattoo. I don't know what I want. Drop me a picture of your favorite tattoo and tag your tattoo artist in this post. And so, I mean, literally this whole tribe of people came out, right? Like they were all dropping pictures of their tattoo, they're tagging their tattoo artist or their friends who do tattoos, whatever. They were literally just tagging people. And so I said, Phil, I need you to reply back to every comment that they leave. Oh my gosh, I really like that one. Why did you pick it? I wanted these conversations to be going because I was feeding the algorithm within Facebook. I wanted it to get, so the thing with Facebook is that their goal, as long as you know what Mark Zuckerberg's goals are, you can win at this game. So Mark's goals are to keep you on his platform as long as possible. Literally, the longer that you're on his platform, the more ads that you get served up, the more ad revenue he gets to make, because if it's charged by, you know, either impressions or any actions that you take. So Mark wants to keep you on his platform as long as possible. And the way Mark does that, because Mark doesn't create any content himself, Mark Zuckerberg counts on us to produce all of the content to keep the people on the platform longer, right? And so if they just tuned in and saw all the same stuff they saw 2 hours ago, they're probably not coming back to Facebook for the rest of the day, right? They need something fresh and new. And so when the algorithm that's built within Facebook that is interest-based now, whenever it sees a post, it recognizes that a post is getting traction. So let's say that the tattoo post got to 20 comments, okay? And 20 could have been 10 original people commenting and Phil replying back to every one of them. That would be 10 and 10, and it will look at it as 20. So there's little benchmarks, and as it gets to these benchmarks, let's say, for example, that the number is 20. Once it gets to 20, and this many people have commented, we have 20 comments, 10 humans and 10 of Phil, then it goes, oh, I wonder if these other people out here would be interested in this. And so it takes that tattoo post and it pushes it into more news feeds. And then once it gets to 40, it goes, oh, these people over here are kind of like these people right here. I wonder if they'd be interested in it. Because if it's an interesting post and people are talking to it, they're going to push it to more and more and more people that are just like these people. So when we got to about 80 comments on that post, I told Phil, I said, step number 2, go out and find the hottest, sexiest new trade-in pre-owned vehicle that you have right now, and I need you to post it. And I need you to put this in the comment box. This is your call to action. This just arrived today. What could your budget afford monthly for this 2020? I think it was a Camaro with 58,000 miles on it. Drop your number down below. Okay. And so we had created a tribe of people. Now, if he had posted a Nissan Versa, this wouldn't have gone anywhere, right? I told him, go find the hottest, sexiest vehicle that you have, because we've got a group of people that we just created a tribe with. They're already getting your stuff now because of the tattoo post. Now your exposure is going to go up. So post this vehicle next.
So this was a separate post, not in line with the ink tattoo.
No,
Okay.
it was,
so
and it was probably
like a rope-a-dope. It's like a
yeah,
rope-a-dope.
it's a rope-a-dope. So we call it the Tom Brady. And I don't like Tom Brady, just so you know. And if you guys do,
why do we call it the Tom Brady? Because I'm down with rope-a-dope.
So I call it Tom Brady because Tom Brady never ever came to the huddle with less than 2 plays. He had 2 plays ready to go in that huddle at every time, and he would look up and read the defense and go, not this one, because that defense, that will not work for me. This play right here, if I read that defense, is going to work. And that's how he kicked our butts all the freaking time. And so if you think about your tribes as, and you can think about it backwards too, right? I need to sell this Camaro. What tribe of people would be interested in this Camaro? And then you just deconstruct it and work it backwards. So he posted the Camaro, and within like probably 30 minutes, there were a lot of comments on there. One guy, and I don't even care if they're snarky. This one guy was like, I'll pay $1 a month. Can I have it for that? I don't care. You know what you did? You clicked a button and you pushed it into more news feeds. So I don't even care what you comment. And then we had a gal that commented that she could afford $350 a month. Do you think that would work within my budget? And then there was one woman that was like, Phil, call me right now. Here's my number. And so Phil sold that Camaro the next day. And we could go, oh, well, of course, I mean, you can't prove that it was because of this. Sure, you're right. I probably can't. But I can show you that the engagement on this one right here, the Camaro post followed the tattoo post, the engagement on that one right there. If I looked at every other time he posted a car, his engagement was crap. But this one worked because we primed the pump ahead of time. Now we've done it again several times. So I just to keep proving my theory, I had him. Phil has 5 kids, so I said I texted him. I'm like, Phil, do any of your kids play soccer? And he's like, yes. I'm like, grab one of their soccer photos because soccer season was wrapping up. And I said, I need you to post a picture of your soccer kid in their uniform and go, I know we're all sad that the season is over, but let's give one more round of applause to our little athletes. Everyone drop a picture of your soccer kid down below, blah, 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 and what position they played.
Cute.
Right. And so we're creating a tribe of soccer moms between 27 and 41. This is what we could look at the people that commented and dropped their pictures of their kids down below, and we could see who they were. Right. And I said, okay, now your next post is going to be, I said, I need you to come by my office and I need you to bring me a Kia Carnival. And I had brought 6 soccer balls with me. I said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put all these soccer balls in the back of this Kia Carnival with the seats folded down because I needed that flat edge, and I need you to remote control, open the back of that hatch, and those soccer balls are all going to come tumbling out. I said, then we're going to keep the hatch up. We're going to fold the seats back up because there's this big, deep cavern in the back right there whenever you have the seats folded up. And I said, I just need you throwing those balls in the back of that Kia Carnival, and they never bounce out. Like he was throwing 6 balls in there and they're bouncing to that thing and staying in there right there. And then the message behind that was getting to and from soccer practice and soccer games this year has probably been hectic. We know it has because it has been for our family. But when we discovered the Kia Carnival MPV, I have to get the letters right, the MPV, we found that getting our stuff to and from was great. I mean, have you test drove one of these yet? They're in right now. Drop me a blah, blah, blah down below, right? And so we created a tribe and then we spoke to the tribe, if that makes sense. Like you're constantly thinking about, like if I wanted to sell, like right now it's hunting season, right? So everyone's out killing deer. And so I would make a post if I wanted to create a tribe, if I was a Ford dealership or a Ram dealership or any of the ones that sell big trucks, I would probably be starting to build a tribe with a picture of a deer, you know, they're holding up the antlers or whatever it is and go, have you guys gotten your first deer yet? Drop me a picture down below. Because that's the first thing they do after they kill it is take a picture with it. And I would do that, right? And I would build that tribe, and then I would follow that up with one of my badass trucks that I have sitting here on my lot and go, wouldn't your deer look really great in the bed of this truck? So we're creating a tribe and then speaking to them instead of just going, look at this great truck I have, and hoping that somebody who is interested in a truck sees it. You can prime the pump ahead of time and you can get those people engaged so that you are showing them that. So here's
we have
that.
At least one person who's paying attention. Aaron wrote in, he's like, I love this idea. Like in South Texas, there's a lot of cowboy hats. What style of hat do you wear and why? And then you could follow it up with check out all the headroom in this pickup truck.
Right? I'm going to tell you, and this is that tattoo post I'm going to be showing you. This is that one that I said, literally, drop me a pic of your favorite tattoo. This is the one that we did. I literally just went out to Canva and made it. I went to Google and I found a beautiful arm with a tattoo on it. And then I went into Canva and just popped this text on top of it. And literally this went, I'm going to see if I have all of that on here. I don't. I was hoping that Megan had built out the rest of this for me. But think about this one. This one is like funny for me because like everybody loves their coffee. I got my coffee sitting right here. And if I don't hit myself with it, I got my coffee sitting right here. And I think about this, like, right? Like, so think about those paper coffee cups. I mean, this is all just content ideas, right? That builds a tribe. And you have to think about who you're talking to. So those paper coffee cups that they give you at Starbucks or at Scooters or wherever your local coffee place is, right? And I think about, and for the women who are on here, right, there's always the lipstick around the white cap part there. And if they overfill it, there's always coffee streaming down the side. And I would probably get one and mess it up a little bit anyways. And I would find, if I sold cars, and I would dominate this world, if I sold cars, I would go find the crappiest, nastiest trade-in that we had that had not been, whether it's going to wholesale or whatever, but it's just dirty inside. And I would probably just video myself with this crappy, dirty coffee cup. And then I would video it going into that crappy coffee holder, the cup holder in the vehicle right there. And then the next thing that I would post would be a nice, beautiful Stanley or a nice cup like this, and me putting it in a brand new cup holder in the car and go, your coffee deserves better. You know what I'm saying? Like those things right there are bringing it from here to here, and then even run a contest behind it. Send me a picture of your coffee cup in your car holder. I'm giving away a $10 Starbucks gift card today, whatever it is, right? And get them engaged. Now you've got a whole coffee tribe of people. So creating a tribe is really just about defining them within Facebook. They've raised their hand on this thing that you said, and they said, I'm a soccer mom between the age of 27 and 41. This is who I am. So that's how you build a tribe, and that's how you market to them. You have to think about, what do I have on my lot that I really want to sell, and then who are the tribe of people that would probably buy this, and then just deconstruct it and work backwards and go, how do I start a conversation with this people? And then Gary Vaynerchuk always says, jab, 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 right hook, which is give them something, and then hit them with what you want them to do. Okay.
Allison wrote in, she said, your coffee deserves better. I love that. People don't play when it comes to coffee. That would be great.
They don't, maybe they don't. Okay, so engagement ideas. And so you may think this is silly. And if you're a GM or you're a dealer and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to post this stuff on my social media. We sell cars, that's who we are, blah. Why are we posting this irrelevant stuff? Because if we go back to the entertain me, educate me, or enlighten me, this is what you have to do, right? I created the first dealership that I worked at was the local Kia dealership here, which is probably why I talk about Kias more than anything, is because I'm more aware of their product. I don't drive one, but I'm aware of their products more than any other. And when I took over that social media, like I think they probably had 750 likes on their page at that time, and they're well over 15,000 now. And that's not the important part, because I didn't buy any likes for them. I built authentic, true brand ambassadors. And the first thing that I did, and if you're not doing this at your dealership or for yourself, you need to. This is really just a reset, right? And it'll take a while to build it up, but you need to have a contest every Monday. And literally it can be something as simple as Netflix or Hulu. And I don't know why I have to share, because I have both of them. I have Netflix and Hulu. But Marvel or DC. Now that right there is a very animated conversation, right? There are people that are Marvel fans and there are people that are DC fans, and they all have strong opinions about that, just like Apple or Android, right? And the reason why you do this is not because you give a crap whether anybody likes Marvel better than DC. You just want them to engage with your page. And we are all ego-driven monsters. That's who we are. And we want our opinion to be known. By God, this pineapple on pizza, no, that goes in the trash. I mean, everybody has those conversations all the time. No, pineapple, that's where it goes. Candy corn. People have strong feelings about candy corn. It's ridiculous. I like it. However, some people do not. They think it's like eating crayons. So if you will have a contest every Monday, and that runs for an entire week, and you give them the instructions that you want them to do, comment below, tag 2 friends, and share this post, right? So the fun part of that is once a week, they're coming either to your page, they're either seeking you out to either play in your contest, because the prize is a free oil change. If you're a dealership, that's generally what I suggest, is a free oil change, because now you're going to get them into your service department if they have been aftermarketing for a while. So you get to get them back in, because we know if they service with you, they're going to buy with you, the majority of them. So contest every Monday. It runs all week long. And then on the Monday before we drop another contest, we announce the winner. We make a post celebrating the winner, telling them, hey, reach out to us, blah, blah, blah. We've got your oil change ready. If you need to schedule it, great. We'll schedule it when you call in. The contests really keep them coming back to you once a week, which means that the majority of the posts that you make from Monday all the way through Saturday or Sunday will pull into their news feed, because they keep coming back trying to win that oil change every Monday. So don't discount these. Don't think because it isn't about, I even had a customer that I picked up that we did their social for them, and they didn't want this contest to be like this. They wanted it to be automotive focused. And I'm like, no, it's not about you. It's about, what do these people want to play with? What will they play with? And if I'm going to go, oh, did you want a Ford Maverick or did you want a Ford F-150? They're not going to play with me, because I've narrowed the audience down too far. I really want to play to what they want to play with, because tomorrow I'm going to give them the Ford Maverick. because they played with me today, they're going to see my Ford Maverick tomorrow. So there's always a strategic component to this. Also, if you have some of your people that have generated content, if you have customers that have posted their pictures of their vehicle, by all means use it. Let me see if I've addressed this real quick, because if not, now I'm going to go back here. One of the things that you need to become also in your social media is become the mayor of your town. And what that means is, right now, if I told you, Eliana, if I asked you, where's the best tacos in town? Where is it?
Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. I see it in my head. And oh, Neri's, Neri''S. They
Okay.
have really good tacos. I love their fish tacos.
So how amazing would it be that you become the mayor of your town, and you're like, hey, best fish tacos in town, tag Mary's Facebook page, post that to your social media, right? And you're like, what does that got to do with selling cars? It doesn't. It has to be with you being part of your community and you going, I mean, what if very few people knew Mary's existed, and that's your favorite fish taco place, and you could keep it open just because you have 15,000 followers on Facebook now, and they're going to start going to Mary's. These things are important because you're adding value to the people who are following you, and you're stealing social media. If Mary's has a decent social media following, when you tagged her page, that's going to go and get in some notifications of some people who are also following Mary's page. So it's like stealing social media a little bit. So become the mayor of your town. If there is a favorite place that you go to for shopping for, I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything that would not be automotive related that you would go to. Restaurants
Okay,
are always
I got to
good.
get to some of these. I got to get to some of these comments that just came in.
Do it.
But by the way, I am holding some questions for the Q&A section because we have some great questions that came in. But let me get to these comments because I thought they were really fun. Allison wrote in, mellow cream pumpkins for the win. Allison, you and I are going to go fisticuffs on that. There's no way. Aaron, about your contest, said, I am 67 and this even sounds fun to me and I hate being on social media. So there we go, Aaron. All right.
Yay.
Noah says, that is what I'm doing with the local coffee shop around the block. I'm posting it next week. All right,
Good.
Noah, I love it.
Good job, Noah.
And then Aaron said, now I know why on Facebook I always see these stupid questions like, what is the best place to eat tacos? I knew they were up to something.
Strategy.
There we go.
Strategy. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the emotional side of car buying. And
by the way, I really agree with this. I know you're going to talk about why there's an emotional side to car buying, but speaking as somebody who bought a car last year, like I spent 6 months doing it, and it would be a visceral thing. Like my husband would say, here, what do you think about this one? And I'm like, no, that's ugly, or no, I would never drive that car, and whatever it was. I had an ex-boyfriend that drove that car. I hate that color. I don't like the way the front fender looks. It doesn't matter. It could be completely arbitrary. It doesn't matter. But I knew I would not want that car. And I knew I would definitely want a car like this.
Yeah.
And so there is an emotional side of car buying, but it even goes further than that. Sometimes it's not even the look of the car, or the way it drives. It could be like, I had an ex-boyfriend who I can't stand. He used to drive that car. That's it. I'm never going to drive that car. That's it. I'm done.
It's a true story. I mean, I
got into a car accident with a guy who drove that car. Nope, hate that car.
Yep.
No.
It is a thing. So we bring all of our tribal knowledge with us to the car buying experience, right? And so what drives car buyers to act, you can address on social. So a lot of times I think that not you guys, but I think that car dealerships wait until the customer shows up at their dealership to address any of the fears, desires, dreams, or frustrations that they have, when you could already be dealing with them via social media ahead of time. And so if we look at frustrations, and let me see if we made it on here. Nope, let's go right here. So if we look at frustrations, like high pressure from salespeople, hidden fees and unexpected costs, the complexity of financing options. I mean, I'm going to tell you, once again, I'm going to go back to one of my employees who had no idea. So I live in a state where leasing is, or in a city where leasing isn't a big deal. Like probably we probably run 3 to 4% in leases here,
Okay.
versus like the state of California where it's probably closer to 60, 75%. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a big lease state, but we're not. And so it's not a common knowledge, right? And so even though it's a great financing option, I lease all my vehicles. I think that a lot of people are unfamiliar with what a lease is, and that's the thing that always pops up, right? $4.99 per month for well-qualified buyers on a blah 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 lease for a blah 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 blah. All the stuff that they're saying, right? And nobody even knows what they're saying. So how could you talk about on social media the complexity of financing options, right? How could you go into there and go, hey, in case you didn't know, a lease is just another form of financing a vehicle, and here are some of the parameters around it. And it's back into that education again that you're taking them. I think about like, let's say that I was an Audi shopper, and I never
I
bought
love
an
an
Audi.
Audi, by the way. Love an
Yeah,
Audi.
and never, let's say that I've never owned an Audi before. I've always driven domestic, but that's been my dream car is I want an Audi, and my next car is going to be an Audi. And now, how do I on social media portray a message to you in your dreams, because that's an emotion, your dreams and desires, those are also what drives people to purchase cars. So let's talk about upgrading to a luxury or a high performance vehicle. And you can have those conversations because there are people that in their life are getting ready to make that move. And you know, if you are a luxury brand, then you can be having those conversations instead of just talking to people who already are Audi drivers. Why don't you target some of those messages to people who have been driving a regular vehicle for a long time, but are ready to up their dreams? They're ready now. They feel confident in their life or in where they're at to be able to step up to a luxury vehicle. Maybe this is your time to experience cutting edge technology in an Audi. So there's so many different ways that you can go through the customer core emotions. If we look at the fears that they have around buying a vehicle, overpaying for a new vehicle, everyone's afraid of that, right? Getting stuck with a limit or a problematic vehicle. How can we address these on social media? How can we address the fears of falling into debt due to an unaffordable loan, or making the wrong choice and regretting the purchase, or being taken advantage of due to lack of knowledge? And so if we look at like some posts that could address some of those things right there, it could be something along the lines of the fear of overpaying for a car is real. Let's discuss how to ensure you're getting the best deal ever. Hashtag no overpaying, hashtag car buying tips. Or knowledge is power, especially in buying a car. How do you educate yourself before a purchase? And then you take them through some stuff. So addressing these on social media is calming their fears before they even get there. One of the things that safety should never be compromised. What are your non-negotiables for car safety? Asking the customers these questions so that they know that you're aware that this is something they're worrying about. So always addressing what those core fears are is important to them. So you wanted to create the posts that resonate with them. So if they're worried about the fact that there are hidden fees with buying a car, or they feel like there are, then you can literally speak to it ahead. There's no hidden fees here. What you see on the sticker is what you're getting, if that's what your dealership offers. You know, if it's transparency that they're looking for, you can be pushing those key phrases out to them and go, look, we're transparent on our pricing. You're never going to get caught blindsided, and say the words, buy hidden fees that you've experienced in the past. Say them because they're thinking them, so you might as well call them out.
Right.
Highlight their dreams, the perfect car for your next adventure. Every car comes with a certified warranty. One of the things too that I think is super important, pre-owned vehicles, right? So you guys buy them at auction, you bring them in. What is your process to recon them and to make sure that vehicle is safe to go back out on the lot? Your customers don't know what that is. So they don't know if you bought it off Joe.
Maybe a dealership has like a 60-point inspection that they do
Right.
on all vehicles before they, you know, put it out on the lot. That's an important point.
It
Oh, I
is.
would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they don't know, did you just buy it off Joe Blow and you put it through detail and put it back out here and now we're buying a pig and a poke? No, tell them, you know what,
Picking a
this vehicle,
poke.
I know that's an old Southern saying and I don't even know what it means, but I mean, I think it means you're buying one without seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're buying a pig without seeing it.
I just want to say, Aaron wrote in and he had a very astute observation. Aaron wrote in, he said, more people today are jumping the fence and deflecting to other OEMs. And then he wrote in, do you like all my Southern ranch hand expressions? And then you came in like picking a poke.
I'm telling you, it's picking a poke. I'm going to tell you, and you know what's funny? Whenever I teach salespeople at the dealership level how to sell cars, I literally tell them, I said, you know, the assumptions you make when somebody pulls up in the vehicle that they're in, you've already started assuming that they want something like what they drove in, right? And I offer them, I bring $100 bill with them and I'll go, okay, I drove in here today in a Jeep 4xe. And a Jeep Wrangler 4xe. And so I'll give you this $100 bill if you can guess what my vehicle before this was. You can't go to social. You guess what my vehicle was before this. And they'll guess like I had another Jeep or whatever. They'll go through it, whatever. And I did. No, I drove a Range Rover Evoque. Okay, let's go back one more before that. What was I driving before this? And it's like none of my vehicles are related. And my next one won't be a Jeep. And not because I don't like Jeep, but it's like I lease every 3 years. I try something different. But like I went from like a Chevy Trailblazer to a Hyundai Veloster to a Cadillac CTS to a two-door Wrangler Sport. I mean, literally, nothing is nothing to from a Nissan something little sports car, and then I mean, nothing's connected, right? So never make that assumption that these people are wanting the thing that they drove in. You have to take that time and spend that time with them and find out like what they're looking for while they're there. Like find out what problem that you're solving for them. But let's go on.
Aaron says you like a fresh horse every 3 years.
Erin, you're my best friend. Okay, so one of the things that really changed the platform for salespeople, and this is just directed at for you to understand about salespeople and using their social media to drive more of their first party leads, their own generated traffic, is the in the past, I've taken you in the past for just a second so you understand where we're at today. In the past, if you were trying to do business on your Facebook profile, Facebook would shut you down. Like if you were calling it, like instead of it being Robin Wilson, if my first name was Robin and my middle name was Carr and my last name was Girl. And so I'd be Robin Carr Girl, right? And that's how people would do it on their profiles. And I know all of you have seen it happen. If Facebook caught on to that, they would just shut you down because that was not your profile was not, they wanted to push everybody to business pages because on business pages, you had the ability to run ads and they could suck money out of your pocket, okay? So in 2023, Facebook made a leap and they opened up the professional dashboard for your profile. Okay, everybody has the ability to have it. And so if you go to your Facebook profile, you open up Facebook and you look and see it, and you have the option to upgrade to a professional dashboard. And what they did when they did that, look, this is a screenshot of my phone, by the way. My battery was almost dead that day. What they did when they did that is they opened it up so that you guys could do business in your profile. So if a salesperson is wanting to just generate their own business, right? They want to build tribes themselves. They want to generate their own traffic. They want to do all of these things. Using a professional dashboard on Facebook doesn't cost them anything. It's not like it's the little blue star. This is free for everybody. And now they can look at their insights and see how well their content that they're posting is doing. They can see how far they are up from the last 30 days or last 28 days. And then the cool thing that they can do, let me see if we can get there, if she grabbed me a screenshot of that, is once they post, they make a post to Facebook. Let's say that I made a post today about that Kia Carnival. And it followed the tribe of the soccer moms. So we did the soccer moms again, and now I post the Kia Carnival out there. And if I wanted to, I could post an ad from my Facebook profile, and I could target it to soccer moms between the age of 27 and 41. And they made that change in 2023. So now all of your salespeople have their own little ability to create business without having a business page now. They can now do it just on their profile, which is important because we used to say, not we, they used to say, salespeople are just lazy. They're just not going to do the work to do blah, blah, blah. And they're not going to post to social media because they're just lazy. And I bought into that for a while. And then I got to thinking about it. I got to thinking about whenever I personally need to move from my analytical brain to my creative brain, right? Like I've worked all day long in a very data-driven environment at work, and I've had to make decisions. I've had to be the decision maker. I've had to analyze stuff before I make a decision, and I'm in my analytical brain all day long. And then this is going to sound stupid to you, men, but whenever I go home and now if I haven't thought about it in advance, now I have to go home and I have to create dinner. I have to move from this brain to that brain, because when I go home, I'm like, dude, can we just eat crackers? Because I don't want to think about this. I don't want to jump over in my creative brain and then make up something delicious for us all to eat, because I'm still stuck over here in my analytical brain. When I finally had that bell go off in my head and understood this, I'm asking salespeople to be analytical all day long, to work numbers, to find the perfect vehicle for this client that will meet their needs and their budget, and that we think that a lender will approve them on based on their credit score and on if they have any money down and on their trade. Are they upside down in it? Is there enough room with this lender to absorb? I mean, literally, they're in that part of their brain all day long, and I'm wanting them to post to social media. They can't do it. So you know what they post? They post pictures of inventory and sold customers, and that's all, because that's their crackers, right? They're like, can we just eat crackers? That's just where they're at. They just can't do it. And so so understand that when you're having problems with them posting, that it's because of this. One of the things too, let's go back to optimizing your profile. If you're a salesperson, right? Oh my Lord, I'm telling you how common this is. I'm not kidding. I have one girl that literally, her profile picture, I literally said, I thought it was a picture of her daughter. She had used so many filters that she looked like she was 16. And I'm like, oh my God, is this a picture of your daughter? She goes, no, it's me. I'm like, the hell it is. That is not you. So they want to use a good, clean photo of them. They want their customers coming to the dealership to find them, and they actually look like that, and they want to be somebody that could be a trusted advisor in the car buying process. But they also need to post consistent, engaging content like we've talked about, and leverage Facebook stories and reels. Right now, with what's going on with TikTok and everybody going, are we going to make TikTok go away in the US? The powers that be, so Facebook with Reels, Instagram with Reels, and YouTube coming out with Shorts, they are trying to solve that problem right now, right? So if TikTok goes away, we want a place for all of these creators to flock to. And so I don't know if any of y'all go to the casinos, but like there's some days whenever you think, oh my God, the slots were loose today. Like there was a guy behind the curtain, like pulling the levers or something, and now the slots are loose. And then you go the next time and it sucks all the money out of there, right? Well, you can think about Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts like the slots are loose right now. And they're loose because it's Zuckerberg and Google's agenda to get you used to posting on those platforms, so that they've already built a good solid foundation, and they know how much bandwidth they need on their servers. If everybody flocked from TikTok and went over to these platforms, they want to get you used to posting over there. So much so that if any of you have posted Reels in the last 90 days, you'll get these little notifications from Facebook that'll go, hey, your Reel has 100 views. Maybe you should post another one. And if you've gotten one of those, the reason that you've got it is they're telling you what they want you to do. They're telling you, if you do this, you'll be successful, because we're going to reward you with more reach and more engagement if you'll do what I want you to do right now, because you are the guinea pig that is getting their foundation set up, so that if TikTok goes away, they've got all of the creators over here. So once you know what they're trying to accomplish right now, then you can play into that, and you can play the loose slots instead of fighting against something that they're not interested in.
Okay, audience, I know we're running a little bit over time. I apologize. We still have a gift to give away. We still have a lot of fantastic questions. If you can hang out, we'll probably wrap this up in the next 10 or so minutes.
For sure.
But love it if you could stay on just a little bit longer while we get to the pro tips for ads and engagement. Come on, Robin.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what you should be doing while you're in there is first monitoring your analytics to refine your strategy. A lot of you that are on here probably, unless you're in that 38% right there, are not doing your own ads, you're having somebody else doing that for you, but using targeting to reach niche audiences. So literally take your social media game to the next level is to start small. Pick one strategy to implement today and stick with it. Get it nailed down, get it dialed in, and then just keep going with that strategy. Focus on building trust and engaging your audience. And you can check out socialgrenade.com if you want some more tips and strategies. I have a lot of social media tips on there in YouTube Shorts too. If you go to YouTube, you can watch all of my social media tips there on their shorts. Look at how fast that was. I got past that.
You did good, kid. All right, we do have a number of questions to get to. So audience, we're ready to get to your questions. But first, let's give away a prize because learning gets a whole lot more fun when there's prizes involved. All right, so it's that time. If you missed it at the beginning of the webinar, I announced that our great friends over at SCP Agency, they're giving away a sweet, sweet prize today. One lucky webinar attendee is going to win a Stanley stainless steel cup full of swag. It's got a t-shirt in it, some stickers, some coasters, some other stuff. It's valued at over $100. You cannot transfer it, cannot exchange it, but one person's gonna win this. All you have to do is be the first person with the correct response to our giveaway question. Sounds easy, right? We're gonna ask you to get in front of your keyboards, get ready. You're gonna put it in the same place where you've been putting in your questions, all right? Before I tell you what the question is, I'm gonna tell you also, if you're a vendor, we love having vendors on our show. You're always welcome on a dealer eProcess webinar, so please never stop coming. But if you are a vendor, we are going to ask you to kindly sit this out because what are you doing, Robin?
Nothing. I was just giving them some help.
No. Please kindly sit this one out. This prize is intended for dealership personnel only. Robin, go back to the giveaway slide. What are you doing? Okay. All right, everyone, good luck. First person to write in the correct response is going to win. I'm going to be watching those coming in. Here we go. Your question is, earlier in the presentation, Robin was talking about core emotions for car buyers. Name all of them. Core emotions for car buyers. Megan Rich, you are the winner. Woo! Megan Rich is the first person to write in frustrations, desires, dreams, and fears. I can't possibly understand where she would have gotten that from, Robin.
Look, I talk a lot, so sometimes I know I can blow past stuff.
Thanks, Megan Rich, you are our winner today. Megan, let us know what dealership you're from. We're going to need a mailing address from you, my friend. So, we also need your shirt size because apparently you're getting a shirt. Megan is with the Lee Johnson Auto family. Where are you located, Megan? Let us know. Now, for all the rest of you not named Megan Rich from the Lee Johnson Auto family, I know you didn't win today. Neither did I. I know it sucks because I would like one of those shirts. But you know what? We give away prizes all the time here on the Dealer eProcess webinar. So come on back to another Dealer eProcess webinar. Could be your moment to win a really cool prize. But for right now, Megan Rich from the Lee Johnson Auto family in Kirkland, Washington. Congratulations, wow. Megan Rich. You are going to be getting this prize coming soon your way. Don't forget, Megan, I also need your shirt size. If you wouldn't mind, that would be fantastic. Congratulations for paying attention on the webinar today. Washington, dang, I didn't know y'all went that far too. That's awesome.
I'm going to be in Washington. I'm going to be in Washington the week after Christmas.
Oh, wow. All right. Very nice. Okay. Robin, you ready for some great questions from our audience?
I am.
Okay. Aaron has been very, very active today. So he has a bunch of things that he has said already, but we have some cool questions from him too. So first off, Aaron wants you to know, at our dealership, I have always asked the question, social media, so what? What does it do for us? Answer, you just need to be there. Now you've answered my long time question 3 times over, and he really, really appreciates that. He said he loves that you said, who likes a salesperson better to be a trusted advisor like Fisher Investments?
100%.
And then he went on to say, cat videos, love them. So share cat videos. And then, so his question is, I get build a tribe, but do they have to like you and follow you to be in your tribe? How do you gather them up and put them in the corral, so to speak?
So by posting that content, that will speak to them. Facebook's going to push it out to people who are not following you. And that's great. That's what you want, because then once they've commented or played with one of your posts, you can go back into that post again. All the people that have liked, whether even if they didn't comment, if they just gave you a heart or a thumbs up or whatever, and then you can invite them to like the page. That just builds your numbers on your page. However, building the tribe is really speaking to what they're interested in, and then carrying that conversation on with them so that they know that you're talking to them. And that really is the building a tribe, is really just like if we go back to the soccer moms again, and we have to think like a soccer mom. You may have to actually talk to a soccer mom and go, what are you guys interested in? Or even I was telling somebody about Harley riders, right? So Harley riders are a different breed of motorcycle riders, right? Like they're not cafe racers. They are, a lot of people will call them a cult, because they are going to ride this. They're not going to ride a Yamaha. They're not going to ride a Kawasaki. They're going to ride a Harley only. And these are people who within their tribe, they're not buying a Harley for transportation, right? So let's say that now we're at that point where we're all sad because everybody's got their bikes all up and winterized. It's okay. You don't want to sell them a bike. You want to sell them a truck. So now I would be like, if I were wanting to create that tribe, I would probably post a picture of a nice sunny day with a Harley and go, I know we're sad. Our bikes are put up for the winter, but drop me a picture down below of whatever adventure you went on this summer in your Harley, on your Harley. Where did you go? What did you do? Blah, blah, blah. I want to see it. Let's just relive our memories for one more time. And now all of these people are be commenting all of the stuff that went on, right? And then you may have, if you know the mentality of a Harley rider, that they're someone who buys toys, right? They're a toy buyer. So then I would probably go and look, what is my top end truck that I have here? And if I was a Ford dealer and I had a Raptor Shelby, I would probably make a post about that, or a post about a Raptor and go, you know what, this would look really good with a, or if you have to trade in your bike, I guess if you're not riding your bike right now, I guess the second best thing would be to be riding a Raptor, right? It would be something that would bring that group together with this group together. But always think about like the end result of who buys a Raptor, right? Those construction guys don't normally do that because they're not going to throw their ladders and their toolboxes in the back of that. They're not going to beat it up. So you look at those people and then go, how do I build a tribe around that? And then just keep speaking to them. And you can have several different tribes that you're working on at the same time. The Harley guy is not going to look at the Kia Carnival. He's not going to participate in the soccer kid photo thing, probably. I wouldn't see so. So just define what tribes you want to play with, and then learn about like who they are and how do I speak to them.
I remember seeing one really brilliant post where they put a picture of this big, I can't remember the name of which car it was, but it had a third row seat, right? And they said, if we take out the third row and we fold down the seats, how many dogs do you think we could fit in here? Right?
Yes.
And then he had, after everyone guessed, then he posted 2 more pictures, and it said something like, well, apparently it's about 27 golden retriever puppies or 3 Great Danes, or something like that. And he had the 2 different pictures. I just thought it was so cute. And then everyone was like, oh my God, I need that car for my dogs, you know?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so, I mean, how can you not win over dog people, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's get to some more of these. Aaron, if you have a follow-up question, please let us know. Okay, Allison wrote in, she said, oh my gosh, Robin's strategies are so smart and so simple. And then she came back later And she said, I've noticed those notifications for my reels. I've been listening, hoping it was worth it, and apparently it is.
It is.
Fantastic. Allison, keep going. That is awesome. Next up, ooh, I love this question from Amy. She says, how do you get upper management on board with this? And so I'm kind of wondering, for salespeople, why do they even need upper management on board with anything? But what do you say to people who really wish that their dealership would, and not just individual salespeople, but really wish that their dealership would take social media, more
Well,
seriously?
the problem with that is that a lot of times they're not consumers of social themselves, and so they don't understand what the big deal of it is, right? I'm not a consumer of radio, but I still understand that there's value there in radio ads. We've known that radio has worked, other than during the pandemic. Radio works really well for car dealers. And so they just have to understanding the difference between mainstream marketing and social marketing is really the storytelling, and it is being part of the story that happens every day. And so all you can do is just show them the way. If they're not open to considering, there's some companies out there that serve the OEMs, right? And they serve the OEMs on the social side. And I have opinions about them. They're screwing it up, and they're screwing it up for you guys, because what they're doing is they're OEM approved, and so the dealership doesn't have to pay anything, or they, it comes out of their co-op or whatever, and they're doing it, but there's not a strategy behind it. They're just serving the OEM, and they're not serving the dealership and your community, right? And that's where you guys have to make a difference, is right there. So there's a lot of dealers and dealerships out there that have really just bought into the, well, we're doing it because GMC approves this vendor right here, and they're doing our social, and that's how it should be. But they're not considering Mary's Tacos. They're not considering the things that go on in your town, or they're not considering, taking people down a path of how do we winterize our car? How do we get our car ready for winter? Any of those things right there. Those companies that serve the OEMs and that are posting to your dealership page right now, in my opinion, I have strong opinions because I'm 60, and you just get there after a while. You just don't give a crap. So they're not telling the story, and they're not treating social with the respect that social needs. And so all you can do is just do it yourself and lead the way, and then go, I don't care what they do. I'm going to build my own paycheck, and then you do it, and you do it. And then after a while, they're going to go, oh my gosh, do you want to come run our social media department? Just keep cashing your checks and doing it your way.
Okay. Amy, love to hear back from you. If you have another follow-up question or comment, please write on in. Really appreciate it. Okay, next up, Dale wrote in, I have got to share this with the staff. Is a replay available? And Aaron also wrote in, you're going to send this video in deck, correct? So let me just tell you what's happening. Okay, we're recording it right now. About 2-3 hours after this ends, we're going to take the page that you registered for this webinar on, and we're just going to transform it, and now it's going to host a PDF of the deck as well as the recording. But I'm going to make sure I email that to you anyway later on today. I'm going to email you the link again, and you'll say, hey, the recording's available. You can go there anytime. It's free. I'll never charge you for this. Just go there and enjoy. All right. So, and yes, share the link. All right. Next up, let's go to Thomas's. Thomas says, since Facebook audiences are aging, well, what do you do to reach the younger buyers? I want to remind everyone, Facebook also owns Instagram, which is kind of younger. So Robin, what do you got?
So all platforms are aging. I think the only one, TikTok even aged. If you go over there, they've all aged up. It doesn't mean that they're not there. If we look at 3 billion monthly active users on Facebook, I don't think you have a problem. I think one of the things that you're going to see pulling them back is the fear of people leaving, of us quitting TikTok in the US. And so you're seeing a lot more reels that are getting posted up there, and it's bringing them back there again. So I would say right now, stick with a platform, and I don't care which one it is. To me, it would be Facebook, because I know how to make it hum and sing. I know how the algorithm works. And I would say it's okay that it's aging up. We all have money. us old people.
I know. We're the ones that get the better insurance rates. Yep.
Yeah, and we're also the ones that have influence over younger car buyers as well that are within our ecosystem. So I would not worry about that.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But since Thomas kind of brought this up, I am curious. The same kind of Tom Brady, rope-a-dope, whatever we call it, that works on Facebook, you're saying just yes, do it also on Instagram, right? Because like when I post on Instagram, it automatically goes to Facebook, vice versa. So you're
Right.
saying yes, connect
Yes,
those?
absolutely. Absolutely. Just whatever the strategy is. So I'll tell you that for the soccer moms, that post that I made Phil make for me, and I'm telling you, and he's my pet, right? And he screws it up. He screwed it up. So this was the day before Thanksgiving that I had him post his soccer kid, and then I created the video. I helped him create the video that he was going to post, and I told him, I was like, don't post it. Post it tomorrow morning, Thanksgiving morning, when everybody's sitting around waiting on somebody to make them a mashed potato. I want that video to go out. And so, so we created the tribe on Facebook, right? And so so probably about noon, I go to look and see how his video is doing. And I'm like, where's that video? So I'm like, Phil, where's your video at? And he goes, it's on TikTok. And I'm like, Phil, you did not create a tribe on TikTok. You created a tribe on Facebook. You can't it's not like you can go test drive a Chevy and then go buy a Ford, you ding dong. Like you literally created the tribe here. So do the follow up here. And so then he went and took the video that he posted on TikTok and shared it to Facebook. And I'm like, nope, Facebook hates that. Facebook hates whenever you share something from another. They're going to give you no reach. I'm like, delete that. Now the video that I sent you, organically load it to Facebook. And he was like, and matter of fact, he was in the middle of eating Thanksgiving dinner, I think, and he told his wife, he's like, I've got to go do this. Robin's cussing at me right now. I've got to go fix this. So he went and he deleted it and he put it up right, and he had great success with that video. So wherever you're going to create your tribe, please know that they don't talk to each other. So if you're going to be on TikTok creating a tribe, you have to think about too, like if you make a post on Instagram and you're wanting people to drop a photo down below, can they? You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're wanting to do, however you're wanting to build it, Facebook is just the most wide open. However I want people to do, I can get them to do it on there. And so if I'm wanting them to engage and I want them to count the engagement, I'm probably always going to start with Facebook. But if you do it on Instagram, stay there. Stay there with the 1-2 punch.
Got it. Okay. Thomas, great question. You have a follow-up? Please let us know. All right. A follow-up from Aaron on that. My social media person is young and doesn't have a Facebook account and wants to get to Instagram, I think, to boost herself. Well,
once again, I have opinions.
We all got opinions.
So here's what I think, Erin, is that a lot of times people who are not familiar with social, in their mind, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in their mind, they think, I need somebody young to do this job. And you have to understand that not that they aren't the right person for that job, but most of the time what you're considering someone for that position, they're consumers of social media. They are not contributors of social media, meaning they aren't working through a strategy of going, how do I serve this dealership? Whenever I first went to work at a dealership, I already had my social media agency, and the GM who asked me to come and talk to him about social in 2014, he was way ahead of his time, wanted me to work there, and I didn't want to work there. I already had a company, and he said, but you need to work here to be able to understand what's going on in automotive. And I argued with him. I said, no, I don't. I didn't know what was going on with the insurance agent, the dentist office, the commercial carpet cleaner, any of the other people that were my clients. And he goes, Robin, I'm telling you, you need to work here to do it. And so he was right. And so sitting in a manager's meeting twice a week and understanding something as simple as dealer cash, right? So your person that's running social for you needs to understand when it's the second week or the third week of the month and you're running short on selling Nissan Altimas because dealer cash is tied and you don't get it until you sell the 41st one. So what can they do at that point to go, hey, I can help stimulate Altima sales because I just need some more awareness right in there, and I can push this out to our audience of people who are maybe Versa drivers or whatever the next Nissan down is, and I can create a tribe of people here and I can push more. So just because they're young and they're consumers of social does not mean that they understand how to strategize and use the tool to make it do what you want it to do. So it's a mistake that I've seen made over and over again. And I'm not saying you can't hire young people to do that job, but they have to have come to the table with some experience in creating traffic and a strategy behind social media.
Wow. Aaron wrote in, wow, first person in years to tell the truth. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's keep, we still have more questions, audience. They keep coming in. So we love that you're hanging around. Like I said, I'll get you the recording later, but keep those questions rolling. Let's just keep blowing through these. Okay. Sharon wrote in, thank you both. This was great, impactful content for sure. And Merry Christmas. Thank you, Shannon.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. Matthew wrote in, I have a professional business profile on my personal Facebook page, and it is great.
Yay, I'm so proud of you.
Matt, rocking it. Love it. Okay, Noah wrote in, have you had any success using social media platforms as a cold or warm outreach method?
Hang on, let me fix this real quick. Okay. Sorry. My do not disturb went off. Let's fix that. Okay. Ask me the question again.
Sorry. Noah says, have you had any success using social media platforms as a cold or warm outreach method?
Generally, no. Like if you're going to do cold outreach, you're probably using email or you're using your BDC. Otherwise, like you're just paying for ads, then you would have ads. You'd be paying for ads to get into their feed, and you can do that. You can. The problem you're going to run into as a car dealership is going to be you can't get laser targeted. There's 4 categories that are special categories within Facebook, and it is anything to do with financing, anything to do with housing, employment, or politics. So if you're placing an ad within Facebook and you're trying to go after some cold people that you don't already have in your ecosystem, and it has to do with financing because you're selling cars. So they're always going to put auto dealers into a special category. You have to click that button, and then it narrows how you can go after them. So in the past, before Mark Zuckerberg had to go before Congress and go through all of the crap as to how we were able to target people. I mean, back when I lived in a fantastic world, that if I wanted, for example, and I'm not saying I did this, but if I wanted to target a Latino community, I wanted to drop a Spanish ad on a Latino community, and I knew that they lived in this part of this town right here, I could drop a pin and go out 1 mile, and I could drop that Hispanic ad on that Latino community right there. I can't do that anymore. So now Facebook, if you are in a category, which automotive is, that falls into the finance category, my pin can be no smaller than 15 miles. So I can't target communities like that and be that specific. I also can't go in there and go, I want this within this 15-mile radius, I want them to be Hispanic, make this much money, do blah. I used to be able to do that. I could literally pick an income group of people. I could pick their ethnicity. I could pick if they were parents, if they owned their homes, if they rented, all of that stuff I used to be able to do, and that all went away when the Cambridge Analytical scandal came out back 2 campaigns ago. Cold outreach is a little bit restricted because of that. However, one thing that you can do is you can pull from your database, your CRM, your DMS. You can sort them in there however you want to, and you can create a custom audience. If you own it already, your customers have already given you all this information, you can upload that into Facebook and create a custom audience. And like I could pull, like back in the day when we didn't have a K5. So back in the day, I could pull out of our DMS all Optima owners, and I could make an Optima audience in there. And then I can go, okay, we're low on selling Optimas as much. We're not going to reach dealer cash if I don't create an ad and push out to these Optima. And I would have done Optimas and Fortes, the one step down, and then go, hey, maybe time to trade in, trade up, blah, 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 and send them out a Facebook ad, an email campaign, and then a BDC call campaign at the same time. However, you're going to have restrictions just because it doesn't matter. Even if you were pushing for service, because you're a dealership and you offer financing within your walls, they're going to put you in that special category.
Wow, that was a very deep answer. Noah, do you have a follow-up question? Hurry up and get it in because we're coming down to the wire over here. That was a fantastic answer. Thank you, Robin. Okay, next up, today's winner, Megan. Her question is, we have 9 dealerships and a Facebook, Instagram account for each.
Yes.
How would you recommend implementing these strategies across all of our dealerships? Would it be best to set up some salespeople for success in posting or try to do it myself? Megan, are you the one who are you one of those people, one of those 38% today who does it yourself for right now? I'm curious. But Robin, the great thing about you is because of SCP agency, you don't just do the work, you strategize on the work. So what would be a strategy for somebody like Megan with 9 dealerships?
So the first thing I'm going to tell you is the biggest mistake that I see happen all the time. And Eliana, you kind of said something about it, and so I just wanted to address it. So don't be like, oh my God, she called me out. If you go and look at my Instagram versus my Facebook, I don't have the same content on both. Because if you follow me on Facebook and I'm putting the same content on Instagram, why would I waste my time going to Instagram? I could see it all in one place. There's no need for me to follow you on 2 different platforms because you're not putting out any different content. So strategy number 1 for you, Megan, would be to make sure that whatever is going to Instagram is not the same that's going to Facebook. And now it's not saying that you have to create a whole different calendar. I'm saying that if on Monday I look on Facebook and you have a let's say that I'm just going to stick with the Ford brand. Let's say you have a Ford F-150 is your image there for the day and you're doing something with the Ford F-150. I go to Instagram, I shouldn't see that Ford F-150. Now you can post that same post, that Ford F-150, maybe the 15th of the month. Maybe you stagger them so that they're not hitting on the same day so that it's not like the same thing every day, right? But you also want to understand that there's a different audience on Facebook than there is on Instagram. And so you have to treat them differently. They're not the same platform. So treat them differently and then figure out what your strategy, because what works on Instagram for you may not work on Facebook for you because they are a different group of people. My daughter is 30. And she's rarely on Instagram. I know it sounds weird. She's like, I don't ever go to Instagram. She's on Facebook all the time. Now,
Me too. Me too.
And so, you know, it just is different people are different people. Just serve up different content on each one.
My husband is the same age as me, and he's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So he sees stuff. He's like, hey, didn't you see our friend blah 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 did such and such? And I'm like, no, where did you see that? On Instagram. I'm like, well, I didn't see it on Facebook, so
it didn't happen. Yeah. So and then Megan,
so between the 2 of us, we got it covered.
Yeah. Then Megan, break it down by each brand, right? So you have 9 stores. Then come up with a strategy for Ford and a different strategy for Chevy and a different strategy for, you know, Land Rover, whichever your brands are that you're covering. And you may have multiple Ford stores within that 9. Don't treat them all the same because if they're in different communities, you know, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that you don't have 2 Ford stores in the same city. And so break those strategies down and then think about them individually. If your dealership group didn't own all 9, how would you treat this store? How would you treat this store if you were just handling one at a time? And then they all have to have a different type of strategy for them. There's not one blanket answer. A Subaru store literally has such different marketing opportunities for them than a Mazda store does. So treating them the same is, I mean, especially like a Mitsubishi store, right? They have what, like three models here in the US. I mean, that's going to be harder for you to play on and go, how do I promote a Mitsu store versus a Chevy store that has how many models on it? So each one is different. And so there's not a blanket answer for you. We treat every store differently. We don't lump all of our Ford stores together that we manage their social for them. We don't lump them all together and go, okay, we're working on the Ford stores right now. Let's do all of this thing. That's how other companies do it. And we don't. We literally consider that store, that community, that group of people. How do they do business? Are they really big into the subprime market? Are they only A paper buyers? Are they really big on leases? You have to just consider all of those things that are the flavor of your.
No, I totally understand that because every brand has its own following, its own personality. You are absolutely right. Sure. Somebody who loves Subaru isn't going to turn around and be interested in like a Mitsu. You
No,
know,
no, never,
somebody who
never.
loves Mercedes isn't necessarily going to turn around and be interested in a Kia.
Nope.
So, Megan did write back in. She said, between me and the marketing director, we try our best. So, Megan, you have a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah. Another thing too, and I'm going to give you a little nugget right here, Megan, that's super important. And Megan, what city are you in?
I believe she said she was in Washington State, but
Oh,
if the
that's right.
rumors are to be believed by other people, they're like, wow, I didn't know they had dealerships in Washington because I know they're in Texas too. So, yeah, she said Kirkland, Seattle area.
Okay. So one of the things that I mean, and this is a creative thing for you right now. One of the things that I love to do with all of our dealerships is I like to get those vehicles and take them off the lot. And so find some landmarks in your city. So take your new cars. You can do pre-owned also, but you're really wanting to push your franchise. If you have mural walls or you have big universities there, you have anything that are landmarks in your city, and when you do your vehicle photos, do them in front of those landmarks that you have right there. And I would probably shoot 90 days worth at a time. And then you've got enough content to fill in right there. And now you're tying your vehicles to your town instead of that OEM crap that they're putting in your ad planner. Get that stuff and take those pictures in front of these landmarks around here. And even if there are businesses like JoJo's Ice Cream and they've got 1.5 million, followers on all of their channels, I would literally borrow social media from them and park cars in JoJo's ice cream parking lot at nighttime when their neon lights are all lit up, take pictures there and steal social from them.
Can you AI those pictures?
Why would you?
I mean, I don't know.
Good,
Moving
good.
cars is a hassle, but oh, she loves that idea. She says, thank you so much.
It's one
All
of my
right,
favorite.
Megan.
It's one of my favorite tricks.
Yeah, watch out for that prize, that swanky prize coming your way through the mail from your friend Robin. Okay, Aaron said, I inherited multiple pages on Facebook. Do I need to get down to one?
Okay, so you inherited multiple for one dealership?
Aaron, is it for one dealership or is it like you do 5 dealerships and so you have 5 different? Oh, he says yes, one dealership.
Okay, yeah, you need to get those all down to one. It's probably confusing for your customers to try to figure out which one they need to communicate on.
He says, I agree. All right, we all agree.
And
Good
you
luck with
can
that, Aaron.
you can merge them. They're in your settings. There's a merge option, and so you're not losing them. You can merge them all into one page. And you can also, if you struggle with that, you can either hit me up or there's a Facebook chat button in your help center, and they can help you with that as well.
Fantastic. He says, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, follow up from Noah. Actually, he says, I don't have a follow up, but I appreciate the amazing answer and thanks for the top tips and lots of exclamation marks.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are way over on time, Robin.
It's okay.
I still love you though. And I know any questions we didn't get to, but we should have gotten to them all. We will answer by email later today. Huge thank you, Robin Wilson. I know you are you absolutely have to come back and do another one next year. Please,
I
please,
love it.
please. Will you come back and do another
I love
presentation?
it. That's what I love talking about all the time.
Aaron says, your best one yet, Eliana, and I've seen a lot of your webinars. What?
What? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, it's fantastic. All right, audience, I want to let you know you can catch up with Robin Wilson on her brand new podcast. Let's go to the next slide if you wouldn't mind. It's called Social Grenade. Social Grenade. Robin has spent years coaching auto salespeople on organic social and how to convert conversations into leads. And now she's recording all of that amazingness inside her pretty little brain for you and everyone else to learn together. So you can tune in to the Social Grenade podcast on YouTube now. So congratulations. Oh, Aaron says he's a podcast freak. So how's that? All right. Want to remind the audience a link, if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, a link to download a copy of today's webinar recording is going to be emailed to you later today for your reference. Please feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues. Today's webinar is also going to be posted online within 24 hours. It's actually going to be later today. Just go to dealereprocess.com/webinars to view our upcoming webinar schedule or access any of our past webinars too. Also, next slide, at the conclusion of this webinar, you're going to receive a short survey. Oh, sorry. 3 short questions, fill it out. I want to know what you thought of today's webinar. Please let us know what you thought and answer those fantastic questions. And yes, next slide. Invitations will be going out soon for our last webinar of 2024. Banging out a good one.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. Thursday, December 19th, 2024, 1 p.m. Eastern. Put it on your calendar. This is Danelle Delgado. She is going to be talking about how to win on repeat, becoming what your success requires for our last webinar of the year. Danelle is she's literally one of the world's most sought after speakers and corporate trainers. She's stopping by for this exclusive webinar on how to empower your team to start winning. Her impactful presentation will help you break free from doubt, craft proven strategies, and elevate your team's performance to championship levels. Attendees can expect to leave this webinar with invaluable insights from a highly talented speaker and strategist. She's going to delve into topics such as results-oriented strategies, the winning mindset, and championship patterns and progress. Are you ready for you and your team to win on repeat? Then this is a presentation you just cannot miss. So I'm going to tell you right now, put it on your calendar, set yourself up for success in 2025, save your seat. This is going to be a masterclass designed to help you win, win, win in 2025. Register now at dealereprocess.com/webinars, and I hope to see you there. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions regarding our webinars and our topics, I'd love to hear from you. My name is Eliana Raggio. Get in touch with me. I'm all over social media, or you can track me down by email at eliana@dealereprocess.com. All right, everyone. On behalf of the amazing Robin Wilson, there we go, and the wonderful folks at SCP Agency and Epic BDC, as well as my amazing coworkers at Dealer eProcess, I want to thank you all so very much for spending this amazing time with us today. And I hope to see you all on another webinar in our continuing education series. All right, Robin, time to wave. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.